Hello, good evening, morning, and afternoon, depending on the time of day you are listening to this. And we are back with another award-winning episode of Bigby
Boy Blue.
and this episode today is about our 2018 favorite reads, and that is not exactly what came out in 2018. It's what we read this year in general.
hmm That's true. A couple of them might have come out in 2018.
Yeah, a good chunk of them I think. I was
Actually,
just
not.
saying,
I'm
like on
looking at
my
mine.
list, yeah,
Yeah, no, not so much on mine.
uh, like probably two,
There you go. That's pretty good. Two.
three, yeah,
Oh, three.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. All right. We should
It's
probably
a
get
little strange.
started
Yeah. Alrighty.
because
So,
we have long lists.
well, then again, some of these may be overlapping, as you mentioned before we started. But another one, this is no particular order at all. I just read them and thought like these were the best of the best this year. So, without further ado, my very first pick for what I thought was one of the best reads I had in 2018 was, and this is going to be real short because we are going to do a special episode for this book, Vagabond.
Woohoo!
Vagabond was one of the best mangas I read this year. The art was amazing. The story based on a real person, which was pretty badass if he because it's an actual person fighting and doing all this cool stuff. So I thought like, yeah, I dig it. I'll add that. I'll have it. The art amazing, but I can't get too much into it because we have an episode
We're gonna have
coming up soon about
a
this. Yeah.
Vagabond New Year's Eve
Yeah,
live
so
or something. I don't know what I'm calling it. Not live. We're never live.
here's
The New Year's Eve spectacular. That sounds
yeah,
good.
that you should write that down and
Uh,
then give me the credit like you did in the past.
so shockingly, Vagabond is also on my list. So
What?
I was pretty sure that would be one of the overlapping ones.
Mhm.
And yeah, you're right. So we're going to do a whole episode on just loving on Vagabond. So
Yeah.
if you want to really participate, listeners, read Vagabond, at least a little bit of it before
Mhm.
our Vagabond Spectacular. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and even if you don't read it, you're gonna hear how much fun we had reading it as we talk about it because we literally do it all the time, especially at work. So yeah,
Got to talk about Vagabond at work.
always, man, always. So the next read that I had chosen because I thought it was hilarious for 2018, considering I just started listening to these guys on their podcast, which is the Adventure Zone, and they had their first pretty much it's a D&D Dungeons and Dragons game that uh three brothers and their dad are playing, and it's so funny and hilarious. It makes me want to play Dungeons and Dragons because of it, and though it's a big hit, a lot of people listen to it. They tweet on Twitter and all that good stuff. Why it's in my 2018 options because of their adventures as their characters in the Adventure Zone. The yeah, that's the right one. And I think it's pretty hilarious that they got their game to become. into a comic book because I live listening to these guys because they are hilarious together, and the characters they make is literally like I laugh out loud a lot, and it's hard because I listen to it sometimes at work, and I'll be like laughing out loud, so I have to turn it down.
So I actually saw the Here Thee Be Gerblins graphic novel at Barnes and Noble the other day.
Hmm.
And I picked it up because I haven't listened as much as you, but I've listened to a little bit. So I was like, so is it really word for word? And I flip it open and it's like literally word for word. You know
Well,
what
they
they say.
had
It's
they
pretty
had to
amazing.
change it a little bit because since Dungeons and Dragons, their first arc was pretty much the starter set that they had by a different, another company kind of thing. They can't really publish the comic book as that since it's part of different rights, I think. Someone has the rights to the story that they're trying to do, so they change the names, the locations, and all that jazz for it.
Oh, that makes sense because the actual
Yeah,
locations are owned by whoever owns D&D, which is
yeah,
probably Wizards of the Coast. Now that I think about it, same
yeah.
people do magic and all that.
You know what? Let me find out. I have it right here. Doesn't say.
Oh,
To the right. Sorry, I had to look harder.
was
So
that?
yeah, yeah. It's Wizards of the
Oh,
Coast.
okay, yeah, cool.
I found the fine print.
Yeah,
But
that's funny. I hadn't thought about that. So yeah, unless Wizards of the Coast gave them permission to use the names of the places, they
mhm.
probably can't do any of them.
Well, no, actually, just the first one. The Here There Be Gerblins is just straight from the guide, the game. The
Hmm.
rest are all them making it up as they go along.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm. Yeah, because once you get farther into the series, you start thinking like, this isn't really Dungeons and Dragons if there's elevators and whatnot in it. So yeah, it gets pretty out there. So,
That's funny.
but it's awesome. Yeah,
I have to listen to it more.
you do. Like,
My
why not at work?
right, yeah. My lovely wife, she was like, "Oh, do you want that?" And I was like, I'll borrow it from Enrique." So, I'm sorry, from Bigby. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'll borrow it
yeah.
from Bigby. I don't call you Bigby in real life, so that it's a struggle.
Well,
I have to edit out your
it's
name.
you know what stinks? I call you Boy Blue in real life when I'm talking to my fiance,
You definitely
and
do not do that.
my I do. Like, yeah, Boy Blue did this today. Who's Boy Blue? Oh, yeah. Redact your real name. I'm like, oh yeah, it's his real name. It's like, oh, you're weird. I'm like, yeah, sometimes.
You should call me over the intercom at work.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Boy Blue to check.
They'd be like,
Boy Blue to check.
"What are
Boy
they
Blue,
doing?"
what? Yeah, like copy Bigby. Uh,
Liam.
that too. Yeah,
Yeah, either or.
I, yeah, or Lika or Joe. Whatever name tag I have on that day.
All right, should I do my next one?
Yes, sir.
I know it's in no particular order, but I'm trying to decide what I
Hmm.
should do. I'm going to go with Animal Man by Grant Morrison. Um, this is my first time reading Animal Man, and it was fantastic. I would highly recommend you check it out. It's basically Grant Morrison taking a character, kind of a DC character that nobody cared about, I think, and
Still don't.
yeah, and making it amazing. It becomes very pretty out there. I mean, I won't spoil it, but it it's a fun read. It's a fun read, but also kind of a sad read, and that's right in the that's where I like it. I like it fun and sad at the same time. Uh, and if you're like, wow, how do I read this? I really want to. a deluxe edition of the first half of the series just came out, and it's 50% off on in-stock trades. I said that like we're sponsored, but we're not.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice if we were.
Okay, folks, I just gotta stop for a second. Is there a man? I see a man behind you in black pointing a gun to your head. Is he forcing you to say this? Is he
Absolutely
forcing you to promote all this stuff for DC?
not.
It's okay. You're in a safe zone now.
Not for DC. This is just Grant Morrison fun. I think
Oh,
if you've never ventured into Grant Morrison, read Animal Man, because I think it's pretty accessible actually. Like I would say, don't read Doom Patrol. Not that accessible. Definitely don't read Invisibles. I'm not saying like don't read it in general,
yeah.
but if you're starting,
You just
I would not
like
start with
blew
those.
my mind right there. I'm like, I love Doom Patrol. What are you talking about?
Have you read Morrison's Doom Patrol?
I believe so. I think he started it there. Just had a brain fart.
People planets for heads, man. Planets for heads. It's out there. I like it, but it's out
Yeah, it's this. How do they call it? The world's strangest team.
there. Yeah. And there's like the like living road. That's also
Yeah, and then the brick. That's
yeah.
like a little alternate dimension.
Yeah. It's out there. It's out there.
Yeah,
They
it's
like
outside the
steal
box.
Paris or something. Like I was so anyway,
Classic
we
Doom.
start talking about Doom Patrol. Read Animal Man, because Animal Man is super fun. And I think I might reread it pretty soon actually. I'm toying with the deluxe edition. I'm toying with it. I haven't decided yet. I'm on a manga kick. I've been buying a lot of manga, so I probably don't need anything more.
Except for Grant Morrison's Animal Man.
Animal Man? Oh, you're right, I do.
I feel like I'm the little devil on your shoulder that tells you to buy this. So you got trying to get you to buy Berserk Volume 1 and 2 in hardcover. and then now Animal Man.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, Animal Man, I might eventually get it. The thing is, with it coming out this week, it's 50% off, so I'm like, oh, I have to get it now. But like I don't know, they're usually 42% off on in-stock trades. It comes out to like a couple more dollars if I wait. I don't know. It's not a huge deal.
I mean, you do get paid this week. Just saying.
You're right. You're right. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it came out
Right.
this week. Maybe it came out last week. Maybe I already missed it. Who knows? I don't know.
You'll find out when you add to cart. Yeah.
All right. What's your next one? I gave an awful Animal Man summary. I just said go read it. That was my Animal Man.
That's okay. I'm going to start doing that for all mine now. So my third one, go read it, is Full Metal Alchemist. Go read it. All right, what's your third? But we talked about Full Metal Alchemist quite a bit, and especially with some spoilers with what happens to several characters and whatnot, and they hit the feels. And just like you, when it's a story that makes you hit your feelings, you're just like, oh God, why? And then you just start freaking out. And I like that. I like that when they make me connect to the characters. And Full Metal Alchemist, to me, in between the first 6 volumes that I have, yeah. And it's very nerve-wracking. I cry. Even now when I reread the first one, it just like demolishes me. And
it's not on my list, but I couldn't remember if I read it this year or last year. So if I read it this year, it's on my list too, and you should go read it. If I read it last year, then it's not on my list. But it is fantastic.
It is.
You can get them in all sorts of formats. There's the individual volumes, and then there's a box set, I think, of the individual volumes. There's 3-in-1s, which is what I have
I'm getting.
complete.
Yeah.
And then they have new hardcovers, which I have started purchasing as well. Double dipping is the name of the game.
Did you? So how much are you willing to sell the other paperback
Okay,
Fullmetal
so
Alchemist?
this is the thing. This is the thing. I'm ready. I'm ready to sell those to you. My wife, though, who has
If
become
not,
quite the fan, yeah, she's become quite the fan. And I'm like, well, we're buying the hardcovers now. She's like, but what if I want both? I'm like, why do you need both? And
she's selfish, man. She
she's
has
like,
to spread it, okay?
well, she's like, well, what if I want to read, the paperback ones, but display the hardcovers? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm gonna read the hardcovers at some point. We'll see.
Oh
We'll
my
see.
goodness. Well, yeah. If not, I'm okay with getting them from my dealer,
You're okay with getting them from where?
from a dealer in Hoboken.
Oh,
Hoboken.
yeah.
It's something shady.
I
You
was
don't worry about it.
I was trying to sell them to you.
Yeah, I know, and I'm glad that you did try. And she put her foot down and said, "What if she just wants to read them?" And I understand. I mean, she has 3 copies of Mistborn trilogy,
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah, that's true.
but
She has
yeah.
multiple copies of the Witcher series too. So
Does she really?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. She may have 3 different copies.
Well, I figured. I mean, like the Mistborn in English, right? But they have amazing cover art, and then the third one is in what, Norwegian?
Oh no,
What?
she has like she is the I'm trying to think. So she is the American Mistborn hardcovers, the British, or I'm sorry, the UK soft covers, and then Polish hardcovers.
The Polish was the one.
Yeah, those are pretty.
They are. I want to go like steal them, and then that's how I'll get Full Metal Alchemist.
You'll use them for ransom.
Yeah, you give me those bucks.
All right. Well, my next pick
Mhm.
is The Nightly News by Jonathan Hickman. And I put The Nightly News on there because it was one of those reads I had where I felt like the need to like talk about it for days. So that's how I know that I liked it. Like I was like, oh, I have to tell the world about Nightly News. And then the world usually means like you and my wife. But probably her first because I see her more, but pretty close. And and yeah, I love it. If you have not read The Nightly News, listeners, once again, I'm just basically saying read it. I recommend it. It's very dark story. It's about kind of a conspiracy within news organizations and a terrorist group who is attacking news anchors and news organizations. Very bleak story. But if you like Jonathan Hickman at all, I think you might like it. You might dig it. It's not for everybody. I'll say that. There's like I don't know. It's a strange read. There's like
Is this the one with the graphs?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
The graphs aren't for me.
there's charts in there, there's data, there's like Jonathan Hickman like interrupting his story to say something, and then he's like, or you can ignore this and then keep reading. Like it's very like I don't know. I don't like you
Breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
And it's funny too, because like at the end, he's like, I don't believe a lot of this stuff, but I'm sharing it with you. And it's like, what? I can't tell what you believe. I'm so confused. But it's great, and it's cool because you get to see Jonathan Hickman's art too, because he did the art as well. So I think it's his very first image book, and I recommend it. It's a good one. It's a thinker. It's definitely worth 2 or 3 reads.
Like back to back, or just like
No, no. I mean, like well, okay, I guess so. Yeah, I read it once and I was like, what? And then I read it like pretty soon afterwards, maybe like a week or two. I read it again. It's a thinker. It's a good one.
hmm,
And
interesting.
I upgraded to the deluxe edition because why not?
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, I expect no less. Jonathan Hickman, oh, get that deluxe edition.
See, that's the thing. I'm waiting for well, Black Monday Murders comes back next year, and I've been reading that as it comes out digitally because it's amazing. But I'm waiting for some sort of complete series or something, deluxe edition, because I will buy that so fast, and I'll force you to read it.
I feel like you're gonna be like sitting out in line at Barnes and Noble, just like 9 a.m., 8:59. As soon as they put it on the shelf, like I gotta get that.
There's a lots of charts and graphs in that one too, so I'll loan you both of them, and then you can do your
Oh
Johnson
man,
homework.
I gotta get a notebook and pad just for this. Get a calculator. Jeez. So, you know what's funny? I think half of my list is all the stuff you recommended and loaned me this year, and the other half is stuff I was like read because I'm a fan of the characters.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Um, so this next one was a another one you I'm currently reading, and it's addicting because I didn't. The first thing you said, oh, just push through the first 3 volumes and it'll be great. And I was like, okay. Push through, like, oh yeah, this is great. But I didn't think it was boring as you thought. I didn't think it was boring at all. I liked it. All the blood, action, and it is. Go ahead and read it.
It's
Just
Berserk.
go read it.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, it's Berserk, guys.
You were like keeping everyone in
Yeah, in
what
suspense.
is it? What is
Yeah,
this
yeah.
thing?
It's Berserk.
Yeah.
It's a great book, great read, very graphic. A few shocking moments for me that I've gotten so far. So far, yeah, I know. 13's coming up, man.
Oh
I
Lord.
just, yeah, I just added 10 and 11, and I'm like at 8. I'm like, oh, I know I gotta keep reading.
It's so funny how you said there's a few shocking moments. It's so nice.
Yeah, well,
It's so naive.
well, I just like you right now. Yeah, I got a feeling something bad's really gonna happen soon. And
Yeah, okay. Well, I keep saying this. When you get far enough, we'll have a Berserk talk. Because
well,
I really want it to be on. I wanted it to be on my top picks of the year, but
Mhm.
I have very real issues. I think with the 13th volume. I'm not sure if I'm past it. I'm not over it yet. Not over it.
Well, you know, it's funny. I think you recommend these series to me, and for whatever reason, I like you read it, then you stop and you read something else. But I keep going on with these to the point where like I surpass you. I'm like, did you get this far? You're like, what? No, I had to read something because that's what happened to Saga.
That is what happened to Saga.
Because you're like, oh yeah, no, I started reading Hickman's Avengers or something. And I was like, oh, well, here you can borrow my copies now, and you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's what I feel like is gonna happen.
I need to catch up on Saga real bad.
Yeah.
Did you get from Jordan? Didn't Jordan say he had like all of Berserk or something?
Yeah, on a flash drive.
Yeah.
Or something.
I
And
mean,
I kept.
it sounds shady.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Like,
just by my disgruntled noises, it's like you can tell how much I want to like Berserk, but I still have reservations. I don't know.
well, it's funny. You kept saying like it's such a great one up until that one volume, then you just like stop abruptly.
Yeah,
Like you something bad's gonna happen. I mean, in the beginning of the story, he's a very angry individual,
That is true. He is very angry.
and then yeah, and then you expect what that he's gonna have a good, happy outcome? No, he's
Well,
missing a hand, man.
no, I'm just saying. I can't say anything. I can't say anything without spoil it for you. You're like so completely not spoiled.
Innocent.
It's amazing. I want you to like fully experience
Well,
what happens.
that's the thing. I'm like, uh, where I'm at, it's a flashback. Okay, anyway, where I'm at, it's a flashback, and it's showing his life, how he became uh, a badass. He was already a badass to begin with, and so in this lifespan of his, he has some crazy stuff happen, and he meets up with this guy named Griffith, and up until like the first three volumes, it's present day, and you see this Griffith guy first, and then he starts yelling out Griffith. I'm like, what is this? Is like a history, and then boom, it sends you right into his history and how he meets this guy and this and the other. I'm like, something. I know something's bad's gonna happen between them because the present day shows.
Right. It tells you. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, like it's set in stone. That's gonna happen. He's gonna sell him out to become a god, and demons are gonna like eat his face or something. That's what's gonna happen. I know that's what's gonna happen. That's where it's gonna lead. That's where I got a feeling that 13 is when Guts gets betrayed by Griffin, and his friend, the chick who he's befriending now, something bad's gonna happen to her. This is my prediction so far. Something bad's gonna happen to her. Guts is gonna be sent to hell, and that's why he's always like pushing people away.
Fair, yeah. So wait, I'm just trying to think. We're getting on Berserk, and
Sorry.
Have you gone to the part? Is it the king's daughter Charlotte? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Did you get to the part with
Yeah,
Charlotte? Yeah.
No, not yet.
Never mind.
He just burned down the queen and her conspirators right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good part. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
I
didn't
even
say.
showed you his face. I was like, hey, look at that face he
Oh
made.
yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Let me think what else might be in there that you have read. Never mind. Yeah, you're not there yet. You're not there.
No.
I'm not going to say anything.
Okay, guys, we're gonna get past Berserk. We'll do a discussion for another time because we're gonna get into it for a bit. Episode 21.
So I will say Berserk is highly regarded. So a lot of people say it's the best
up until 13.
Yeah. No. I mean, like, I would say it's a pretty beloved series, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
But so the one thing Boy Blue tells me, like, if you're gonna read it, Volume 9, don't read in public. And I'm like, okay, because there's really graphic stuff in it. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna read it at your church, wearing a shirt saying Boy Blue asked me to read this as per his request, and on the back it's gonna say ask me about Berserk. That's gonna happen.
I think it's great.
I'm gonna get a shirt. I'm gonna get a shirt like that.
Have you heard about Berserk?
Yeah.
Like
please ask me about it. Yeah. Ask me about the good book Berserk.
Oh man. Well, you mentioned it briefly, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do it now. Jonathan Hickman's Avengers. I realized I finished that like January of this year, so that's 2018.
Yeah, that still counts.
Yeah. I love me Jonathan Hickman's Avengers. It's definitely something I'm going to reread probably every year. I'm like planning a reread. Not much to say. It's Avengers, so if you like the Avengers, you'll maybe like it. It gets a little out there. There's lots of cosmic stuff. There's time travel. It feels more like like a science fiction story, honestly, than Avengers. But
It really does.
it's amazing. It culminates in the event called Secret Wars, which I also loved from start to finish. I thought his Avengers was incredible. So, oh, and also you have to read his new Avengers at the same time.
There's actually a list that you have to read it in order.
Yeah, you can look it up on Reddit. Or if you want to pay just tons of money for out of print omnibuses, you can read it that way. I don't recommend that because they're pretty expensive now.
Or you could pick it up on Google, or not Google, Comixology. I think the Infinity one is on
Yeah, and it's
what
also
is it, free for unlimited?
Yeah, it's also on Marvel Unlimited too, like the entire run. I felt really cool the other day because I learned how to sideload Marvel Unlimited, the app, onto my Kindle.
Your PlayStation 4?
No, onto my Kindle.
Oh, okay. Oh.
The Kindle doesn't support the Marvel app normally, so you have to tinker with it. And it's not like I figured it out. I looked it up on the internet. So I'm not actually smart. But I'm saying I was proud that I followed directions well. That's what I did.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, good job, man. You did it.
I did it. So yeah, Hickman's Avengers, lots of good artists on that. That I'm blanking on completely. Shoot, who's the guy who's on Seven to Eternity?
I don't know. Guessing the wrong guy there.
Jerome Pena. Jerome Pena. I love his art. Trying to think of other people. I'll just stick with that. If you like Jerome Pena, read it.
It's really good, man. It's really, really good.
Oh no, I think the guy who did Thor: God of Thunder did Secret Wars. Esad Ribic. His art's interesting. It's kind of painty.
It actually is, but it works with Thor.
Yeah, I thought it worked for Secret Wars too. If I'm right. I'm like lying.
You probably are lying. I'm sorry, Boyblue.
No, I'm right. Ha!
Dang. Drop the mic.
What's your next pick?
I'm just gonna drop the mic all the time. Just my next pick is, and I talk about this one so much in every positive review that we had, and because I just love this character and it's pretty awesome. Cosmic Ghost Rider. He is awesome. And I know most of you have heard me ramble on about the Cosmic Ghost Rider, which is Frank Castle, the Punisher, with the powers of Ghost Rider and Silver Surfer. And in his little run, he has the idea of going back in time to stopping the big bad Thanos before he goes off and kills all the heroes on planet Earth. And so it's funny because he ends up inadvertently raising Thanos to being who he is just by accident, because he keeps saying like, so how am I gonna kill you, baby Thanos? And baby Thanos is like, he could talk. He's like, hey, let's go kill people. Let's do this. And he's like, no, killing is bad. Because he figures out like, I'm not gonna kill a kid. So he thinks like, oh, maybe if he raises him well,
right,
he won't go that route. Nope. It got so much worse when he raised Thanos.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was say, like, then the version of Guardians of the Galaxy tries to stop him, and the Watcher watches us all. And it's fun.
I was just gonna say I need to read it. I love everything about the concept, though. Like Ghost Rider, who's super powerful, Silver Surfer, who is incredibly powerful, and then that power is given to Frank Castle, who is homicidal. I mean,
yeah,
it's an incredible concept, and
It is.
I was actually looking on Marvel Unlimited. Those Donny Cates is Thanos, where I think he's introduced.
Mhm.
The first 4 issues I think are now on there, so I might start looking at those because it just sounds amazing. I
It
really want to
really
read
is,
it.
man. It's hilarious. Hilarious that the Punisher doesn't catch the irony that he's telling Thanos not to kill, and yet he's killing all these people who's trying to stop him.
Right? Yeah.
I'm like, okay, and Thanos is just
Okay.
like, yeah, yeah, more, and he's like, shut up.
It sounds
Yeah,
so good.
yeah, it really is, man. I recommend it. Everybody, pick that copy up right now.
Yeah, I like it. That it just sounds like a fun read.
It
You
is.
know, like I'm just like, yeah, that sounds fun. No charts and graphs in that one.
No. Pure blood, guts, action.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Did I tell you that I tried to translate all of the aliens talking in Hickman's Avengers, and
Why?
then I got really bored. I was like, wow, I can't do this. This is
Why don't you just look it up on Reddit? Like, what do the aliens say?
nah. You gotta do it yourself. You have to do the work, man.
Yeah, no, I ain't about that life.
Someday I'm gonna know what they said exactly, even though it's probably like die human, something
Yeah.
really dumb like
That'd be fun. Like, hey, we're just here to order a pizza. Attack Avengers. What? Why are they attacking us?
that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so I will do my next one. What do I want to do? I will talk about Seven Soldiers of Victory. Another Grant Morrison classic. I bought the omnibus for it. It is a fairly cheap way of obtaining that series if you're interested in it. It's probably around $40 on in-stock trades. Amazon usually has it pretty cheap too. But basically, Seven Soldiers. I probably won't remember all the soldiers off the top of my head now, but Zatanna, Frankenstein, Bulleteer, Witch Boy, Manhattan Guardian. Who am I missing?
Dr. Fate.
No, Dr. Fate.
Oh, dang.
Mr.
Mr. Miracle.
Oh, Mr. Miracle. Yep, that's one.
Yeah.
And now I can't remember the last one. Clearly, they didn't leave an impression on me. But basically,
Red
there's
Tornado.
no, not Red Tornado.
Oh.
It's set in the DC universe. Obviously, Mr. Miracle and Zatanna being the two most famous of the soldiers. But the thing is that they never meet each other. There's this invasion by these beings called the Sheeta, and there's a prophecy saying that 7 soldiers will defeat them. So throughout time, they come and destroy any group of 7 because there's a prophecy they'll be destroyed. So this time, the 7 soldiers, they never actually meet. They don't know that they're all, a part of this prophecy. It just kind of comes together, and it is fantastic. I would recommend reading Animal Man first, but if you like Animal Man, and I won't spoil the end of Animal Man, but if you like the end of Animal Man, I think you'll like Seven Soldiers as well. So,
Is he the 7th soldier?
no, he's not.
Oh. Well, I was like, hey, there you go. You had the.
I can't think of who it is that I'm missing. It's gonna bother me.
Good.
But it's another good Grant Morrison, like I'd say like intro level Grant Morrison. It won't like completely make you confused.
As much of his work does, for the most part.
The Shining Knight, that was the other one. And he's kind of critical too. Kind of
How
important.
to forget the most critical one, man.
Yeah, right? Probably least critical was Mr. Miracle. I'm still not really sure how that tied into the rest of it.
They
I'm like,
just
oh yeah,
they just needed a 7. Just throw someone in there.
yeah. Honestly, the Mr. Miracle stuff goes more into it leads in the final crisis. So there you go. Also by Grant Morrison, but much harder to understand.
Yeah, Final Crisis pretty confused me. So, Grant Morrison, you did a good job confusing me.
All right, what is your next one?
My next one, it did come out last year, or maybe earlier this year, but I'm still going to mention it because I know I finished it this year. And it's a Marvel, what was it? Marvel Legacy Punisher War Machine. And this is probably one of my favorites because it the title says it all. Punisher War Machine.
Yeah.
Nick Fury gives Punisher War Machine suit, and he expects the Punisher to give it back to him after he does whatever he. Punisher keeps it and keeps on punishing people in this badass looking War Machine suit. It has his skull and the on this chest plate, and it looks so awesome. And I'm like, oh my god, the best thing ever. This is definitely one you guys got to read because you love Punisher as much as I do, or if you love War Machine and you just thought, hey, who is who's a who's another decorated soldier who would be willing and able to step into an armored suit and take on terrorist Frank Castle.
So do you like Frank Castle as War Machine or as a cosmic
Cosmic
thing?
Cosmic Ghost Rider, hands down, because that's like the best thing. Because he's not young, he's like old since he lived so long.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, two of your picks are Frank Castle in various forms.
Yeah, man, I would have picked the Spider-Man Punisher too with the what if, but that one was pretty cool. But
there you go.
Yeah.
Odds that we see Cosmic Ghost Rider in Punisher season 2 on Netflix.
I think that's very good.
Probably
odds right
zero odds.
Nah, it's 100% because he's gonna sell his soul to get the power of Ghost Rider, and then he's gonna see half the universe wipe out. He's gonna go talk to Galactus.
I like it. I hope that happens.
It's gonna be amazing.
You know, it'd be funny is if that did happen, even though that will never happen. But if it did, my wife would be like, "What is this?"
It's like,
go talk I want to bring back the normal one.
It'd still be the same actor, which would be hilarious.
Speaking of Netflix, rest in peace, Daredevil Netflix show.
That's terrible. That was a dumb mistake by Netflix.
I know, and nobody believed me. I feel like I said it here on our show, and I was like, I don't think they'll have a 4th season. You're like, nah, they will. And I was like, all right.
They would have. I mean, think about it. It's an amazing show. It started up the whole superhero thing, nitty gritty. It brought all those. It redeemed Daredevil after Ben Affleck.
That is true. Well, I will go on. How many do you have left?
3.
Okay, that'll work. I have 4, but I think one of them is the same as yours, so
yeah,
I think it'll work out fine. My next one is Blade of the Immortal. It's a manga published by Dark Horse that I have very much fallen for this year. I feel like at first, I feel like at first I was like, oh, this is pretty good, but as I've gone through, it's become quite the favorite. Lots of great characters, which is always great. They all have their own interesting subplots. And I think I've talked about Blade of the Immortal in the past on here, so I won't belabor it too much. But I just bought the seventh omnibus, I think. It just came out, so I'm going to read that, and then there will be one more, and then that'll be it for the omnibus editions. But I would definitely recommend checking them out. Good stuff. Great
Until they
art
come out
too.
in
Great art.
hardcover.
I don't know if it's that big. You know what I mean? I don't see Dark Horse doing 3 different editions of it. I think the
They might. I
omnibus will.
mean, once they listen to this, they're like, you know what? Let's get this guy's money. Let's make a hardcover edition.
This is one guy's money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my pick.
So my next pick is one I read this year, which I thought was pretty cool because it takes place in Mexico, and it is Hellboy in Mexico.
Hellboy was one of my choices, so we'll just say Hellboy.
Hellboy, okay. He's somehow in Mexico with Abe, like finding a coffin or something. I think it was a vampire. They don't really say what's in the coffin, and then they see a picture of Hellboy in this abandoned little house, and he's like, "Were you here?" He's like, "I don't remember. I just got drunk, and it's all blacked out." And I'm like, that's so Hellboy. Gets so drunk that he forgets why he was there and this all that stuff. And I thought it was really cool because anything involving my heritage Mexico, I'll love instantly, and this one just made me love it. Like once I read the title, snap, there we go. Love it, automatic love.
Yeah, it's great. It's a one where like he befriends those brothers who are like wrestlers, right? And then they go out drinking every night, and it's
vampires.
Yeah, exactly. I liked that one a lot, and is oddly tragic. I mean, which that's kind of my thing. So I'm all about the tragedy. I really liked that one. Hellboy in general was one of my reads, which is kind of weird. I just realized that like saying all of Hellboy is a weird thing to say, but it's great.
Right. I'm sorry. HE double hockey sticks boy.
Yeah, sorry, pardon me.
Forget that.
Fantastic series. Mike Mignola is a genius. I love his art.
Mm-hmm.
I love his writing, and definitely check out HE double hockey sticks boy. And what format did the Hellboy in Mexico come for? Is that just a trade that you can get?
A trade right now. I got it off the Comixology.
Okay, because it's also in the short story omnibus, one of the two that came out.
So is it volume 1 or volume 1 or 2?
I don't remember. I want to say maybe 2 because they're chronological. So he's fairly old by that point.
Yeah, because I read somewhere like in Mike Mignola's stuff, he always leaves a little introduction in everything he writes about how he came across this idea, how this and that happened. And I think I remember reading on there that he said one of them was a short story. I think it was the brother one, the vampire one. And he's like, it started off as a short story, and then he just started like the idea, what if he went back to Mexico, and after that little event took place, it was just like something he completely forgot, and all this other stuff happened while he was there. And I was like, that's hilarious.
Oh, and there's also that part where there's he like gets married.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's drunk and he like marries like a ghost or something, and there's like like spirits or like mariachi players. It gets pretty weird, but it's fun. I like it.
It really is. It's hilarious. Classic Hellboy.
Classic.
So my second to last one is one of the funniest ones on here, considering like it didn't make me cry. It just made me laugh a lot. And it's this 1,000 page book called Bone,
Excellent choice.
and it is hilarious. And I'm gonna get it on my Kindle because it's a pretty big book.
That's true. Yeah, it's a pretty big book, and like it holds up pretty well. I mean, I've had it
Yeah.
for like 10 years, but it's not like I'm reading it a ton. Like I've probably read through it 3 times. You've read through it, and it's like
Mm.
you're doing pretty good. But I'm not
Yeah.
sure it's got any more. Maybe like 1 or 2
Huh.
more reads, and then I'll need a new copy.
And you'll just pass that down to just like, here you go. Hey, it's Bone. It's a magical tale. But it's really funny. Uh, I recommend this reading to everybody because it's not too dark or gritty like all the stuff we talked about already. Like it's like Mickey Mouse kind of artwork in it,
Hmm.
and each of the characters remind me of Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, and it's so hilarious. It's so innocent. That's what I'm looking for. It's so innocent in a great way that you'll just instantly fall in love as soon as you read the first page of it. Because that's exactly what I read. After I read the first page, I'm like, oh my God, this is hilarious.
Yeah, and I'm always amazed reading it, the emotion Jeff Smith can get from those characters. Because I
Hmm.
mean, the Bone characters don't look like people. Like there are people in it who look like people,
Yeah,
but the bones themselves look. There's like small little, almost like
cartoon
Pillsbury
characters.
Doughboy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they express a lot. It's very interesting, and I'm not sure if you said this, but it is kind of like a fantasy quest type story. Um, it starts off pretty simple, but it gets more complex and lots of good characters in it. The Great Red Dragon, a personal favorite. Um,
Uh, that
highly recommended.
dragon, that dragon, just like so chill about everything. Like
He
pops
is.
up like, yo.
I like it
Uh,
when Phone Bone is like telling Thorn, there's a dragon. She's like, dragons don't exist. And then like she leaves and he like pops out of the well and then he's like, she didn't believe you. And then he's like,
like,
just like all upset. And just like he pops out everywhere and like she doesn't see him. It's amazing.
yeah,
But it's not those kind of fun little things where it's like it's hilarious. It's a fun story.
especially the rat people.
Oh yeah, the
They're
rat
like always
creatures.
obsessed with eating food. Like, oh yeah, maybe we should make a souffle. Or not a souffle. What does he want?
A
Quiche.
quiche. Yeah.
He's always obsessed with quiche. Like, maybe we should make a quiche. Like, no.
The other rat
Steak.
creature is like it's like we eat stew, whatever, like
Yeah.
stupid rat creatures.
Mhm. This is definitely a fun read. Everybody, go get a copy right
I
now.
was
We'll
I
wait.
was pretty sure that was going to be on your list. I was trying to think of things you had read this year that I'd given you. I was like, Bone will be on
Whoa,
there.
whoa, whoa. Are you trying to guesstimate what I have on my list, man?
Yeah,
Terrible.
yeah. So I will do my second to last one. And then I think we have the same last one, which is funny that we both felt the
Save
need
it
to
for
save
last.
it. Yeah. Because it's funny because at the beginning you're like, in no particular order. In my head, I was like, in no particular order, except for the last one. And then you did the same thing. So my second to last is Vinland Saga. Another manga. It is about Vikings. Specifically, the beginning is kind of a revenge tale following a Viking named Thorfinn,
Son of Thor's.
son of Thor's.
Hey.
But it's really fantastic. I just finished up volume 7 of the American releases, which I think they have 2 volumes per volume, so I think technically volume 14. But tons of action. But also it's the characters are developing surprisingly to me. Like they're going in different directions that I wasn't anticipating. And I don't know, stick with it. Keep reading it. If no, I'm not telling you, but like, if you get to a certain point and you're like, oh, this is boring. No, keep going. It's not boring. That's the correct answer. But
I feel like
the art is fantastic. It has its own kind of look. It sort of reminds me of the art in Berserk. A little, maybe a little cleaner.
Only
though.
like the battle. Yeah, like the battle scenes.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say definitely check it out. The fights are incredible. The characters are incredible. And it will move your heartstrings. If it doesn't, then you have no soul. That's pretty much it. Vinland Saga.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, Vinland is getting to the point of recommend to everyone status. Like you're saying, Bone, you'd recommend that to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Full Metal Alchemist, I'd recommend to everyone, and I feel like Vinland is going to be there too. Wait, why?
They make so many people cry.
I know, but
like I love the series, but there's a piece of me like, why would he recommend this to me every time I go back to that damn dog, that damn person?
Spoilers.
Oh, they know already. We said this like numerous times.
But for me, I don't know. Vinland it's reaching that status of, even if I don't know your tastes, I still might recommend it to you. Like I might get it for my brother, or like recommend it to my brother who's never read any manga. Like I don't think he has any interest in it, but I might force him. Be like, read this. It has Vikings.
Just force him to read Full Metal Alchemist, you monster.
I mean, that's up there too. I feel like he would sooner read about Vikings though. Because it's I don't know. Full Metal Alchemist is a little bit more out there. I mean, he likes fantasy stuff, but anyways, now we're just talking about my brother's likes and dislikes. All right, so let everyone know your final one, which is also my final one.
Monstrous.
Wrong.
Dr. Star and the Kingdom of Lost Tomorrows. I think that's the title.
That is correct.
Yeah, that one broke me at the end. But it's a great book. It's an amazing read. And his black, it's so sad.
Yeah, it's probably the best thing I read this year. It's only 4 issues. That's what's crazy to me. It's like Jeff Lemire tells this amazing story in 4 issues, and you got to read it. I would say even if you haven't read Black Hammer,
wouldn't really need to if this part, like, there's not really, like, you're not missing much. You don't read Black Hammer, you can enjoy it.
Yeah, you don't need to read Black Hammer. There's a part of me that thinks, what are you doing if you're not reading Black Hammer? But
Black what?
Yeah. But definitely check it out. It's a very emotional tale about a father and son. And I think it also shows, I mean, this is going to sound hokey a little bit, but it's still like, it's about a superhero, right? But I think just shows how great comic book storytelling can be. Even superhero genre. I don't know. I feel like sometimes people write off like, oh, superheroes are hokey or like lame. But Jeff Lemire has just crafted this amazing superhero universe that he'll break your heart, man. I mean, he's done it several times in that series. But especially Dr. Star. That'll break your heart the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will. I'm going to reread it just to get my heart broken.
I know. I almost, when I was making my list, I was like, well, Dr. Star is number one. And then I was like, I should read that. And I thought, well, I don't want to cry right now. So,
It's
so maybe
okay
I
to
won't.
cry. No, it's just raining.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're right. You're right.
Then this rain. That's all I
Um,
want to read these outside when it's raining, and then people are like, "Were you crying?" No, it was
it's
just raining
raining.
out here. Yeah.
But yeah, Dr. Star, written by Jeff Lemire.
Art
Um,
by Jeff Lemire.
no, I don't think so.
What? I
Yeah.
just figured it was by Jeff. Oh no, what's his name? Olmsted, right? Something
No,
Olmsted, or is
he's
that just he's
Dean.
just Black Hammer, huh?
Yeah. I feel like now we've made such a big deal about it. I have to look up.
Yeah, you should, because my brain is just like the art in it was like really amazing, especially the end scene.
His art sort of reminded me of Dean Ormsted's or whatever the main Black
Hmm.
Hammer writer is, but I know it's not. They have a similar look though. Max Fiamara. I might have said that incorrectly, but that.
I'm pretty sure you did.
So yeah, folks, Dr. Star gets the Boyblue and Bigby double seal of approval. We both
Yes.
said we weren't going to rate them, but then we both rated them, or that one at least.
Yeah,
Number
that
one,
was it.
um, it does contain. I think is it rated M? I think it is. Probably for language. Jeff Lemire likes
Yeah,
that a lot.
he
So it
does.
does have the F word a lot. That's that's about it though. Nothing too.
That's his favorite word.
I mean, it's kind of up there. I feel like
He's just like,
Golden Gale is always just like dropping F bombs.
well, she makes sense. I mean, she is an old woman trapped in a kid's body.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I'll accept it this time, and then cursing every time.
Have we talked about the Black Hammer TV show that's been announced?
Oh no, there's the Black Hammer TV. Let me guess, HBO, and it's connected to the Watchmen that has nothing to do with Watchmen,
Here, let me look it
right?
up. Uh,
Because I think that's an amazing idea.
oops.
I hope it's not.
I'm trying to figure out which network. So it's Legendary Entertainment, but I'm trying to see. Let's see.
Is it live action or animated?
I think it's gonna be live action.
Oh wow, that's gonna be a big budget. 'Cause you got The Martian, Talkie Walkie,
Right. I'm not
and the Dragonfly, Madame Dragonfly.
I'm not
That
seeing
would be a major one.
I'm not seeing what network, but Legendary Pictures has bought the rights to it at least. So I guess it's more in development. Maybe it's too soon to say it's happening, but still, I'm psyched. That'll be cool.
It would be cool. And
Uh,
guess who they're gonna call for Dr. Star?
me. I'll be-
Yeah.
I'm not old enough to play Doctor Star.
Well, in his younger self, yeah. I mean,
Oh, I guess you're right. You're right. Okay.
he ages. Come on, man.
Well, so go buy Doctor Star, ladies and gents, or get it from your library. I think the trade is out now. I think it came
Yeah.
out in November.
I thought it was
so you can
October.
Oh, maybe it's October. Well, it's out. That's yeah.
Yeah.
You can pick up the trade, buy it at your comic book store, buy it digitally, get it from your library.
Download Hoopla.
Yeah, get it from Hoopla. And check out some of these other things if you haven't. I can't remember all the things we talked about, but this was our favorites of the year. So they can't all be bad unless we have really bad taste. What if someone checked out
That's
every
a lie. We have
said?
amazing taste.
someone like reads everything we suggested and hates all of them. I guess it's possible, but they would be
That's
wrong.
probably a that's probably a fan of the DC sequel,
Doomsday
Neil
Clock.
Gaiman's work. Yeah, they probably love that stuff. So yeah, no,
That's amazing. Well, next week,
it's
we're
bye week.
taking
It's
off, and the week after that, we'll be back with the Vagabond.
episode 20.
Yeah, episode 20. That's true. Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
I have a couple new volumes of Vagabond, so I'm wondering if I should read them fast and then give them to you, so we can talk even further. But we'll see. We'll see.
well, if even if you don't read them fast and lend in to me with the next week, I I read those just like fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, that should be fun. I'm just like thinking like I read think Vagabond's like the one thing that I put everything aside down and then like read it, focus all my time and energy because I get out early enough to be like Vagabond, go home,
Right.
read everything and then
Vagabond, I can't read it too fast because I have to gaze at the art for minutes at a time.
you're like, oh, this beauty,
It is. It's so.
Kojiro.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and listen on Podbean, listen on iTunes, leave a review on iTunes, follow us on Instagram. I think that's it.
And
Oh,
comment below. You
yes,
guys could comment like, "Hey, how you doing?" Or like, "Hey, I like this." And if it's something we haven't read, we'll probably read it. If it's
that's,
something like completely different,
that's true. We,
yeah,
we read a lot, so
yeah.
but we don't read everything. So I'm sure there are things we've missed. Well, actually, there are definitely
There's a lot of things we missed. Yeah.
yeah, tons and tons of things.
Mm.
Alrighty. Thank you, everyone. This is Boy Blue.
And this is Bigby. Don't forget to like the latest post. It was of us playing Magic for the first time with our regular decks
It's
at
very
Freddy's. So a bunch of people. What was it? I hashtag Freddy's. So a bunch of people are gonna be seeing Magic the Gathering instead of Freddy's when they
amazing.
look that up. I did that on purpose because
They're going to be very
yeah,
like, what? I was
yeah,
expecting burgers and
yeah.
fries.
Steak. What is this?
All right.
Uh,
And we're signing off.
have a great holiday, everybody.